Eric and a sloth.
Today's project, I'm going to have you come inside of one of our new builds, and I'm going to show you how to install a new pre-hung door. So when you're installing a door, first thing you want to do is take your level, find out if the frame has been done properly. Generally speaking, the door frame is usually 2 inches wider than the size that's indicated on your door. So we have a 24-inch door and a 26-inch hole. We have 1/2-inch jamb material, which gives us a little bit of play in case it's not perfectly square. We're pretty decently level, which is fine. Now, our door is going to go in the hole here. And our jamb material, you can see I've got good play, so we're going to be absolutely fine. So before we install our door, it's important to know what your finished flooring is going to be because we're doing it at an early phase. This floor is going to be tiled, so before we tile we have to add 5/8 plywood. You have 5/8 here, 5/8 plywood, that's 1.25 inches. That's the basic amount of flooring needed in Ontario to cover any kind of tear-on warranty. Don't install it with anything less. So we're going to put 5/8 shim there, install our door on top of it. That way, once we've installed our plywood and tile, we still have a proper gap at the bottom of the door. Once you have your door in place, you open up the swing, and then you just lift the door and the jamb until it's somewhat flush with your frame, and then pack a bunch of shims underneath to carry the weight of the door. And this makes it very easy to do by yourself. Next thing we do is we're going to take our shims, put them in behind the jamb on the hinge side, and we want to make that one perfectly level. So, once you've got your door in position, you take a shim and you want to put shims in behind the door, coming from 2 different directions. That way, if your wall is for square, and you put your shims in from different directions, you keep even spacing inside and outside the door. You don't get the frame twisting. If you put all the shims from one direction, you'll get a twisted frame and your door won't function properly. So we're going to throw the shim in from each direction, just till it's snug. We're going to add ourselves a screw, and effectively where the door stop is going to be installed later, and it'll cover the screws. So I'm going to be using this here just to get it perfectly flush with the wall. Done. And we'll do that same process in each hinge up the side of the door. Like with any construction, framers are trying to get something done, give or take. They don't use nice 6-foot long levels. They're not concerned about everything being perfectly level. They're just trying to get close. It's the finishing where you have to be perfect. So what we do is we put our level up against the jamb and identify roughly the space that we need, which is, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, which is normal. So that's nice because I can put one shim in from the top, one side, and then from the other side. You'll notice I've got one shim set above the hinge and one shim set below the hinge. And I put my level from each of those 2 locations. Wow, I don't think that would get much better if I tried. If you're working alone, again, take the shim, use it like a straight edge. Go across the corner, drywall to drywall. Make sure your jamb is in contact. All right, hold that jamb. You've got your screw set. Now, hold your shims. Otherwise, when the screw grabs the wood, it'll spin it around, might cause an accident. Get the shims in, go in different directions. Put the level up from shim to shim, not just at the bottom. Okay, make sure you cover both of the shims. And then we're just going to push this until the gap is completely closed. Now here it's closed at the top and not at the bottom, so we're going to adjust for a new location. Because we're dealing with wood, There we go. You might find that putting a shim lower down is better than putting it higher up. If you're dealing with MDF, it's not quite so particular, but with wood, same thing. You take your screw where the door jamb is going to be, where you have to be perfect. So what we do is we put our level up against the jamb and identify roughly the space that we need, which is, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, which is normal. So that's nice because I can put one shim in from the top, one side, and then from the other side. You'll notice I've got one shim set above the hinge and one shim set below the hinge. And I put my level from each of those two locations. Wow, I don't think that would get much better if I tried. If you're working alone, again, take the shim, use it like a straight edge. Go across the corner, drywall to drywall. Make sure your jamb is in contact. All right, hold that jamb. You've got your screw set. Now, hold your shims. Otherwise, when the screw grabs the wood, it'll spin it around, might cause an accident. Get the shims in, go in different directions. Put the level up from shim to shim, not just at the bottom. Okay, make sure you cover both of the shims. And then we're just going to push this until the gap is completely closed. Now here it's closed at the top and not at the bottom, so we're going to adjust for a new location. Because we're dealing with wood, there we go. You might find that putting a shim lower down is better than putting it higher up. If you're dealing with MDF, it's not quite so particular, but with wood, same thing. You take your screw where the door jamb is going to be.
Hello, I'm Travis Larson, and I'm an editor for Family Handyman magazine. Today I'm going to tell you how to trim this 6-panel door with this extra wide, thick Princeton casing. It'll look like $1 million when we're done. You can do it too. It's a lot easier than you think. Once you get used to it, you can trim a door like this, one side at least, in about 10 minutes. There's only a few tools that you need. The most important one is an 18-gauge trim gun. This shoots little brads ranging from 1 inch to 2 inches. And we're going to use 1-inch brads for attaching it to the door jamb, and the 2-inch longer brads for attaching the thick part of the trim through the drywall into the framing. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is cut off the shims. With these really thick shims, you should score it on both sides really pretty deep. Make sure you got a nice sharp blade and cut it on this side. Couple passes, just snap it off. After you snap them off, make sure they're not projecting past the door. Otherwise, the trim is going to rock on there and you'll never get it flush on one side or the other. So we're going to start by putting the top piece of trim on, but before we do that, we have to establish where the short points of that trim are going to go. You can only get so close because of the hinges, so I always use that to define the reveal or the margin. Those are two terms that define the distance between the edge of the jamb and the edge of the trim. That gives you a lot of wiggle room when you're putting the trim on, and you can be a little bit off and still going to look great. A lot of amateurs make the mistake of trying to put the trim flush, which is almost impossible and doesn't look good at all. So here I go. I'm going to put my little line up here. You saw me do that. And that's about 1/4 inch. I'm going to make the same mark over here. And you can see that I've already pre-cut one side of this trim with a 45-degree angle. So I'm not going to use a tape measure at all on this door. I'm going to do it all with scribing. So I'm going to hold the short point even with my first mark. And then I'm going to work my way down here and mark the short point of this miter. Now I'm going to take this to the miter saw and sneak up on that mark, and then this piece will be ready to nail in place.
I just started delivering for DoorDash and I absolutely love it. I was looking for extra ways to make some cash and I decided to give it a try. I never imagined how easy and fun it would be. I can make money on my time. There's nothing like being your own boss, making your own schedule, and getting paid. I get to keep 100% of my tips. So if you're looking for a fun, fast, and easy way to make some extra cash, download the app today.
If you want to sell online, make sure you stand out. Go to Wix e-commerce and create a professional online store that will grab shoppers' attention.
So when you start cutting this miter, don't make the mistake a lot of people do with trying to get it right off the bat. Just start a little bit away from it and keep dipping the blade, moving the board this way until you get to your mark, and then make the cut. Before I do any nailing, I'm going to make sure that I cut this the right length. That's perfect, so I don't need to recut anything. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make sure that the margin between the top of the door jamb matches the margin at the short point of the miter. And then I'm going to take my 1-inch pins and blast this thing to the door. There's one more tip about this, and that is keep your pins away from the outside corners because this has a real big tendency to split if you get too close. I try to stay at least 1.5 inches away from those areas. Now that our 2-inch pins are in, we're going to nail the fat part into the framing. Now that the top piece is done, we're going to start on the sides. But just don't start cutting the long pieces of trim. The first thing you need to do is to use a test piece and check your miter. This is 45, this is 45. I'm going to hold this up here and check my margins. And then I'm going to take a good hard look at my miter. And it is open. It's open on the toe of the miter. So I'm going to take a little bit off the heel, which is about 1/2 degree or so. I'm going to set my saw at 45.5, and I'm going to check it again. And if that's good, I'm going to cut that miter on my long piece for the side. Okay, I made a 45.5 degree cut on my test piece, and yeah, this is perfect. Now I'm going to cut the real angle on the real piece of trim. I cut a 45.5 degree angle on this thing, so I know the miter's going to be perfect, But I can't really cut it to length just by measuring. That's a big mistake. If it was carpeting, I could get away with that. I would just pull a tape measure out and cut it a 1/4 inch slower because the carpeting is going to hide the bottom. But since this is a hardwood floor, it has to look really nice where it meets the floor. So I'm just going to flip it upside down. And I'm going to scribe the length and cut this part flat on the miter saw. So always take the pencil line, because when you scribe something, it's always going to be too long. So I just make sure I remove the line when I make this square cut. Check the fit now, the length and the miter one more time before I glue it and nail it in place. And it looks fabulous. This is ready to glue and nail.
Eric and a sloth use eToro to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies.
I'm going to squirt a little glue on the miter and we're going to nail this board in place. I like to nail them from both sides if you can get at it. You can't always do that because sometimes there's a soffit or a wall right next to the gun. So if you can only get one in here or one in here, that's fine. So nail your corner together and then work your way down the jamb, adjusting the margin as you go. Put your nails about every foot or so, that'll hold it fine. And after we do this, we're going to switch to 2-inch pin.
Manscaped.
What?
I'm saying Manscaped.
Ah! Who are you? What is going on?
Save it. I'm the grooming guru, and I'm here to rescue you.
From this island?
No, from your archaic grooming practices. It's time you start grooming safely with Manscaped's legendary Lawnmower 3.0. Here you go, bud. Take notes. Grooming tools like beard trimmers, wax strips, hair removal cream can lead to some serious manscaping accidents. The Lawnmower 3.0 features advanced skin-safe technology to help prevent manscaping accidents while grooming south of the equator. Huh? Your southern hemisphere. Your South Pole. Dude, your Panama Canal. Really? Your butt, balls, and body. Even the gooch. Come on, man, keep up. Also, give it a try. With the 7,000 RPM motor, you can cut through the thickest jungles without the fear of snags. Isn't that better? Plus, it's waterproof, so you can trim anywhere. Right, Jacques?
Mm-hmm. I'm from Atlantis.
He's from Atlantis. And with an all-new LED light, you can trim where the sun don't shine. Oh, and one more thing. When you're done, just place it in the rapid charging dock. It's that easy.
So, what do you think?
Like a new man. Too bad no one's ever gonna see you like this.
What?
What? So, if you want to be like my friend Hank here and use the right tools for the job,
Wait, what was that about nobody seeing me like this?
Order your Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped today. You're gonna love it. But don't just take my word for it.
Hey, look what I found.
Oh, that's for me.
Huh. Are you gonna clean that up?
How about Shark Tank, The Chive, Forbes, Fast Company, Inc. Magazine, and Playboy?
Is that the Coast Guard?
Dude, I promise, nobody is coming for you. But Manscaped will ship you fresh blades every 3 months to make sure your trimmer is running at maximum performance. Thank you.
Good as new. For my next wish, I wish to be off this island.
Dude, I'm a guru, not a genie. That's a totally different thing. The only thing you need to remember is Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Hey Jacques, let's get out of here.
To Atlantis?
Sure, why not? Head to manscaped.com today and order your Lawnmower 3.0. For a limited time, get free shipping, a free pair of Manscaped boxers, and a free shed travel bag. Off to Atlantis!
Pins and nail the fat part to the framing. The minute you get a piece up, make sure that you wipe away the wet glue. If you leave that stuff in there, you're really going to beat yourself up with chisels or whatever it takes to get that glue out. But if you jump on it right away, it not only cleans up real easy, it also fills in all the little cracks that might be left over. So it acts as wood filler. And then when you go to paint this door, it's going to look like these two pieces of trim grew together. Perfect. We did exactly the same thing on this side as we did on that side. You can see this isn't rocket science, right? So I'm going to glue it up, nail it in place. Well, that's it. The carpenter part's done. Now it's ready for paint. If you're the guy that's painting instead of a professional, it's going to be your job to fill all the nail holes and to put a thin bead of painter's caulk around the perimeter and the inside edge where it meets the door jamb. Then when this thing's painted, it's going to look like $1,000,000.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your mug?"
A JustAZ.com production. How to set up and use a caulking gun.
A caulking gun is used to force caulking out of a tube into a desired location. Once you've selected the right caulking for the job, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, you will need to load the caulk tube into the gun. Cut the tip of the caulk tube at a 45-degree angle. I usually use a razor knife. Where you cut determines the size of the hole. For a smaller hole, you cut closer to the tip. Match the size of the hole in the tip to the size of the width of the seam or the joint you are caulking. Some guns have a spout cutter. You put the tip of the tube in the hole and squeeze the trigger to cut the tip. I really hate spout cutters though. I prefer the razor knife. Ta-da! This gun has a metal rod on it. Use it to poke the seal inside the tube. If you don't have a metal rod on your gun, use a long nail. Just take it and insert it into the tube. Pull this handle back to pull the plunger back. On some models, you may have to press the trigger. We place the tube of caulk into the cradle of the gun so the tip is protruding past the ring or yoke of the gun. The cup of the plunger should rest against the bottom of the tube. Holding the tip against the area of where you're going to start, slowly squeeze the trigger until the caulk starts coming out. Before we start caulking, we're going to need to prep the area. As we can see over the years, the caulk has contracted and we got some holes in here, so what we're going to have to do is remove the caulking. Just take a razor knife and just start cutting out the old caulk. You have two different types of caulk, latex and silicone. Latex is easier to apply than silicone and cleans up easier with soap and water. Silicone, though, is more durable. It's also more flexible, meaning that it's a better choice for seams and joints that expand and contract. Some silicone products require mineral spirits for cleanup, but many don't. Check the label on your tube for the directions on how to clean up. Latex caulk is also paintable, but not all silicone caulk is paintable. Again, remember to check the label. Silicone also works best for non-porous surface, while latex can be applied to both porous and non-porous surfaces. I chose a fast-drying acrylic latex caulk with silicone. It dries in 20 minutes, it's paintable, it's good for 50 years, it's waterproof, exterior, and easy to clean up. Let's give it a try. Put the gun in the corner and squeeze a little caulk as you move it down. Get the bead of caulk all the way around the window. Just take a little water, wet your finger, and you smooth it out. If you're a little thin in an area, just come back and put a little extra caulk in there. Once you're finished with your caulking, just pull the handle back, remove the caulk. This tube is still about half full. So what I do is I take a plastic sandwich bag, put it over the top, and wrap a rubber band around it. And it's good for storing. We finished caulking and painting the window. The whole project took us less than an hour, and it's going to save us money on our heating and air conditioning bills in the future. Project made easy by using a caulking gun. Now that you learned how to use a caulking gun, you should try it on other projects, such as in the bathroom, around a sink or a tub, or for repairing a driveway.
Okay, are you done with the project then?
Lehigh, Utah. You are watching Mormon Talk with Carson O. Kimball and Brett O'Call.
I just have to make sure. Is it playing though? Hold on. Okay. It says here, our audio levels are on. Okay? All right.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Lehi, Utah. You are watching Mormon Talk with Carson O. Kimball and Brett O'Call.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Mormon Talk. My name is Carson O. Kimball.
And I am Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are pleasured to be here, and I hope you are as well.
Yes, we are still here at my grandparents' house. As many of you know, my apartment flooded a couple weeks back, and My wife and I have been staying here at my grandparents' house, who it's a more remote location than is convenient, but luckily for Brett, it's even closer to his new residence. So
yes,
wonderful. Just an update. So that this happened, and my insurance is covering everything, but I volunteered to help repair the damage done, and I think it never hurts to learn just basic round the house handyman skills, so that maybe one day, like if I don't know, if I were able to invest in such a thing, maybe I could start my own remodeling business.
I saw Brett and Carson touching inappropriately and kissing. I have video evidence.
Okay, all right. This is a perfect. This is not a perfect thing that just happened, but please, everyone who's a new viewer, be aware that people like to abuse our donation box. We are unable to shut the thing down. My brother Wilson set it up, and he is not cooperating with us, and we want to keep it there for people that are family, friendly, but at the same time, we just, anytime you guys hear the jingle, just for now, until we fix the problem, please just plug your eyes and close your ears, or plug your ears and close your eyes, and that way, in case it's something inappropriate, you won't be you won't be splashed by it. So
we actually tried looking up videos about how to change it when somebody else has control of the account, but it was all in Russian, and we weren't able to successfully do any of it.
There's a translation option with the web browser that we're using, and it translated most of the language, but it kept leading us to do the wrong things. And it made some things worse. So anyway, thank you everyone for your patience. And my just one more thing here.
Joseph Smith fucked a naked nigger in the butt. Brett and Carson are ass fucks.
Okay, Liz, I heard part of that. Stop it. I'm serious, guys. I'm in a great mood tonight.
Yes.
Brett is in a great mood.
Yes.
We've been having fun. We've been, before this, we've been just kind of looking into, just
home repair
stuff. And we've been doing that all night. Please don't ruin that for us, please.
Carson knows how to use the caulking gun. So what's going to happen is, before the show, he showed me a video about how to do it. And so he's going to let me come and, caulk around the toilet and other areas of the bathroom. So
yeah.
That's really exciting for me. He's going to teach me how to do it.
Well, I'm still learning too. Not only that, but we are also taking out tile, and we are reinstalling tile. So it's going to be really fun. To just kind of like a service project for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Brett. Okay. Anyway, everyone, welcome to the show. A couple things before we start answering calls. SingStar, our upcoming competition, frankly, will be soon. And so, if you have not already signed up for SingStar, please go to mormontalksingstar@gmail.com. Send in a short bio about you, a picture of yourself.
Rest in peace to my cousin Connor. He took his own life last week. Never forget.
Please stop sending inappropriate things to us. Whatever that is, whatever that was. But anyway, please send that information to us. If you're a singer and you'd like to enter our competition, the competition will actually be spanning over a couple months and will end on July 5th this year. And there will be a grand prize. So if you want to win that grand prize and really use your mouth to get there, sing your heart out, please enter our competition. Once again, that's mormontalksingstar@gmail.com. And we are not going to let anyone who's trolling us participate, because you will have to be on a live Zoom call when you audition. And if you sing any inappropriate songs, you will be eliminated from the contest. So
absolutely.
Do we have anything else that we want to
announce? I mean, we have a special segment at the second half of the
second hour of the show.
Second hour of the show that we wanted to go over, but other than that, I don't know if there's any other announcements. Is there anything you can think of? Is there something else going on?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
But anyway, well, wonderful. Welcome everyone, and if you have not already, please subscribe.
Carson is getting his ass filled by Brett with cock cold hard white wet sticky.
Okay, stop, guys. Stop using the donation
It's
thing.
time to stop.
If you're using a donation, if you're going to donate, please don't attach any messages right now, because we can't control those. I'm serious. Please stop. We are going to be discussing a special topic in the second hour, like Brett was saying, and we were having a discussion the other day about criticism, and how criticism can be misused. But it led us to wonder, when is criticism appropriate? And so we have been discussing that, and we want to discuss it with you from a gospel-centered perspective. When is it appropriate? That would be the second hour. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and start taking some phone calls. So please call in at this number, 801-901-3489. That is 801-901-3489. Hello, caller. You are on the air with Carson Owen Kimball
and Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show. Do you have anything for us tonight, caller? Any questions?
Yes. Am I on?
You're live. Yep, you're live on the air. Please ask us any general question you have. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We like to answer questions about that, but if not, if you have a general life question, we also like to give advice too.
Yes.
Okay. I had a question about Joseph Smith.
Okay, well, wonderful. Go ahead.
Great.
Was he polygamous?
Joseph Smith did practice polygyny. Yes.
What's polygyny?
That's where a man has multiple wives. But it is a very misunderstood chapter of Joseph Smith's life, and his marriage to those women it was asked by God. It was a very difficult thing for him to do, extremely difficult. He did not want to do it, but he did it anyway.
Did he keep that secret from the church, or?
Well, he was commanded not to go ahead and tell everyone everything all at once, because they were not ready to receive that yet, and the Lord, has his purposes. So yeah. Oh, hold on, caller.
Please stop being mean to Happy Meg.
Okay, please stop sending inappropriate messages to us, period. Okay, anyway, go ahead, caller. Sorry about that.
So he kind of did keep it secret then.
In the same way that, there are things in your life that you don't necessarily need to go spill into everyone's ears all at the same time,
Yeah. There's
Yeah, because I was reading about this girl named Helen Mar Kimball. Have you heard of her?
Very, I'll tell you that I have very much heard of Helen Mar Kimball.
You have?
Yeah, my
So
last
you
name
know
is
that she
Kimball.
You know she was 14.
I've been 14 before. Everyone has.
But that's what I was reading, that she was 14 when Joseph Smith approached her, to be married.
Oh, okay.
Is that your guys' understanding, or am I just way off?
Well, here is what you must understand. She explicitly has stated that there was nothing physical about their marriage. It was just a thing that was spoken. And in fact, she did get married to someone else in the future as well. And so it was something that was not effective in this lifetime. It was only something that would be effective in the next lifetime. Joseph Smith also
eternal only sealing.
Right. Joseph Smith was also sealed to women that were much to his elder, many decades even, and it was again just for the world to come.
All right. Well, that was just something that was bothering me. So.
Hey, well, don't let it bother you.
I thought I'd ask about it.
That's the perfect kind of question to call in and ask us. Something that's kind of testing you a little bit or just keeping you up at night. Give us a call. We'll sort it out the best we can. I mean, we don't know everything, but we have some outside perspective.
Right, and we're gonna give it to you straight. We're not gonna give you an answer that is unfair or untrue. Hold on, caller.
Carson is the sub and Brett is the dom. I bet Carson gives great blowjays.
Stop using our donation box, period, or we will shut down the show. Sorry, caller. But yeah, these are the great types of questions to call in and ask us, and don't let things bother you too much. But remember, the most important person to ask is our Heavenly Father, and you can do that just like sending a text message. Just get on your or an email. You can get on your knees and send an email. Well, anyway, thank you for calling in, caller, and you have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you. Right, bye.
Well, wonderful. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O. Kimball
and Brett O. Call.
Hey guys, it's Nick.
Hello there.
Oh, Brett, I can't really hear you.
Oh gosh, our microphone system is absolutely just
Did you
here.
turn me all the way down?
No, you're up. But anyway, here, go ahead, Nick.
Well, first of all, I wanted to say, you guys are doing a great job. Keep going. But I think I might have to, go kind of ghost on social media for a little bit, because there's been the mail I'm getting because people have found my address.
Oh no.
People showing up to my house. That's why we had to go on a trip. We actually visited China, which was very nice. But
wait, you can fly to China right now?
Well, yeah, it opened back up. We went with Spirit Airlines.
Were you wearing a mask?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Do you think it would be smart if I left social media for a little while?
Hold on though. Hold on. Wait. Hold on 1 sec.
Okay, go ahead.
Brett likes to blow Carson's cock while being fucked in the ass.
Okay, sorry. Guys, stop misusing our donation box or we will shut down the show. Period. Get that through your heads. Okay, sorry.
It's despicable what people could do, especially when you guys are trying to earn some extra money. And
You're preaching to the tabernacle choir, okay? But listen, Nick, I don't think it's appropriate for you to hold on.
If you shut it down, what excuse would you have to hang out without your wives?
Stop sending us well, okay, please, like that message said, please don't make us shut it down. Okay, but anyway, I think that if you're having these struggles right now, Nick, Brett and I would both say maybe it's not a great idea to be broadcasting this in front of everyone, because if you've received the type of hate mail that we've gotten, or even the type of physical threats that Brett has gotten in the past, I've never had any. I've just had people meet me in real life and want to shake my hand or take a picture with me, and I haven't experienced the negative part physically yet. But if you feel like you're in danger, don't broadcast it, because that just fuels the flame broiler with these people. Take it from us.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't experienced anything, where someone's come up to me. I've just, there's been mail, there's been, Twitter messages,
okay,
and stuff like that.
Well, Brett had a gang of quad riders, like a quad gang, come to his home and make threats to him.
And at one point, someone even left a package outside of my door.
That's terrifying. Did you end up opening it?
No. Why would?
Well, that's good, because it could have been, like something.
Don't open the package.
And they made it seem like it was from Amazon.
But it was retaped.
Yeah, you could tell that it was not authentic. And so Brett just threw it away. But anyway,
Amazon has like the tape that says
tape.
Amazon on it.
Yeah, they used that tape to disguise the box. Like,
yeah, but there was like two different sets of it, so it was obviously like retaped or packaged.
Yes, so there was
there was
two layers of tape on top of each other, and no, there were two layers of tape that were overlaid on top of each other, on top of the other, and so it was obviously. Oh, hold on.
Joseph Smith was a pedophile. Nick, stop listening to these pedo supporters.
Stop. Okay. Stop.
On the top of the box.
Carson, I think a way you could get people to stop donating, I think you could probably take the link out from the description, but I would hate to, cut off that stream of income, especially when people just splash it.
We don't need the income. We don't need it. Okay? The show doesn't have a very big budget. We spend it all on things for the show, Adobe, so that we can do our
OBS
intro, and so that we can do SingStar. Costs like $400 a year. Okay?
Oh man.
And I'll let you in on something. Some of these donations are fake. I'm just gonna say it here on in.
They don't pay you?
Well, what happened? I'm not going to get into the financials of it all, but what happens is there is fake funds that come in, and then they are withdrawn at a later date and totally surprise you. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's not important.
Do you think it could be like stolen credit cards? Because people could they could take.
Why are you laughing?
Are you accusing us of stealing? Are you accusing us of stealing credit cards?
No. I said, do you think other people could steal credit cards and use them to try to donate and splash you?
No, that seems
like the
who could ever even know?
Great show, boys.
Do you like another way to troll you? They could steal people's credit cards. Because I had my
Listen,
Twitter hacked.
Nick. Listen, Nick.
You can't steal a credit card because it has somebody's name on it. So if you steal it and you don't have that name, then you can't use the card.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
your internet won't let
I
it
think
work.
yeah, I think that you're still young and so you might not know that.
Yeah.
But you can't use someone else's card on the internet. So anyway, thank you for calling in. Please
All right,
contact law
yeah,
enforcement if you're having the troubles you say you are. Okay, we have to move on. We have to stay on topic tonight. Please, if you are among people trying to intimidate Brother Nick or myself or our moderators, stop.
He's a young boy. He's really young.
Hello, is this Mormon Talk?
Yes, this is Mormon Talk. You are speaking to Carson O. Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. How are you doing tonight,
Yeah,
caller?
I can't really hear Brett at all.
Gosh darn it. You know what? Let's just share a mic.
Hello, caller.
Brett, I just wanted to call in and just confirm something with you because I saw a video that I wasn't sure about.
No.
I think it was
don't
a
ask.
deep
Please
fake.
stop. It's
Just
fake.
about because he was playing.
It's fake.
Okay. Good call. We're not going to take our chances with these calls. We're going to be one step ahead. We're smarter every week.
I've seen the accusations online. There's the video isn't real.
Okay. Anyway, hello call. What is?
Hello?
Oh. Sorry. I'm looking at the chat and it looks like it looked like our friend Fred was in the chat, but I don't think that's him.
I saw that. I don't think it's him either. I think it's a troll.
Yeah, it's probably a troll. Well, anyway, hello caller, you're on the air with Carson.
And Brett, welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, Carson and Brett, is Happy Meg on tonight?
She is.
Okay. I just wanted to call in and just say that you guys owe her a big apology. You guys treat her like absolute dog shit.
Okay, there's no cussing. There's no cussing on our show. Period. And we're not going to tolerate people. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say something. There are a lot of simps in our viewership. What is a simp? Well, a simp is someone who pretends that they care about women's rights or care about women, and they act super outraged so that they can try and seem like the savior of that female. Happy Meg WV can defend herself. Happy Meg WV doesn't have any problem with Brett and myself, but if she did, she would speak up for herself. Stop trying to speak up for the women in your life and try and make it seem like they are not strong enough to do so themselves. Pardon? No, simps.
How do you spell it?
SIMPS. Simps.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just a fact. But anyway, well, wonderful. Let's go ahead and keep answering calls that are on topic and not. Yeah, it's like simpleton. But there are a lot of what how would you say? Anyway, I already said my bit, but let's go ahead and keep answering calls. Hello, caller.
Treat Happy Meg like a queen.
Yes.
Hello?
Or an equal. Like
Yes.
we are queens as well in that world.
Yeah.
But hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O. Kimball.
And Brett O'Call, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight, caller? Do you have any questions for us about our faith or about life?
Hey guys, I am doing great. I actually don't have a question to ask, but I had a pretty neat story that I wanted to tell you guys.
Well, wonderful. As long as it's uplifting.
Mormon Talk is helping to. Yeah, it is how Mormon Talk is
And
helping
brief.
to build community.
Wonderful.
Do you guys know one of your longtime viewers, Sister Bunker?
Yes.
Sweet, wonderful lady.
Okay.
Yes. So Sister Bunker on her YouTube screen name has a picture of her. So if you ever were to like see her in public, you'd be able to recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into her this past week at the grocery store.
Oh, really? Well, please don't reveal where you live, please, because that would be against of our rules.
Not at all. That part of the story can all be in code. But I was walking out to my car, and I saw this sweet little old lady on a motorized cart, and I was like, I know that face from somewhere. Where have I seen that? And I went up to her slowly, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's Sister Bunker.
Oh.
And I asked her, I was like, are you Sister Bunker? And she's like, yes, I am. And I told her who I was, and we talked, and the fact that we both love watching Mormon talk, and we're able to meet and to just have a good time together.
Wonderful.
And it was wonderful. We chit-chatted. I was able to do service for her. I helped her to load her groceries in her car. Helped put some gallons of prune juice in her car for her. And then for me, she actually watched my stuff for a second while I went and broke change for $1. And I walked away. I was like, you know what? They sure are right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. I'll be right back. Don't you go dying on me now. And you know something? She didn't.
Oh. Well,
I'm glad they're letting her out, because I was under the impression that Sister Bunker was kind of hunkered down in the
her bunker.
Yeah, her bunker.
Oh,
so I'm glad to hear that they let her out.
Yeah, she had her stand nurse with her too. Oh, hey, and also the final thing with Sister Bunker, and talking about her. I don't know if you guys are noticing in the chat, today is her 85th birthday. She's been staying a lot. So,
Congratulations,
oh,
Sister
well,
Bunker.
oh, well, wonderful. Should we sing? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sister Bunker. Happy birthday to you. Well, that's awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
85 seconds.
Congratulations, Sister Edith Bunker, for turning 85. You've made it all this way, and I hope that you can make it
many more,
or at least a half more. Half of one
she
more.
has been saying in the chat, Phil, like, somebody please let them know it's my birthday. So that's for her.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Okay, well, wonderful. If
All
that's
right,
everything.
you guys have a great evening.
Okay, you too. Oh, well, that was awesome.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And C. Kimball. Hopefully you can hear both of us. Please mute your monitor and welcome to the show.
Can you still hear my monitor, or is it?
No.
Is it okay now?
That seems to be at appropriate volume level.
Okay, great. So I had a quick question for you guys. When Brother Nick called in, and quick shout out to Brother Nick, I love his TikTok channel. Anyway, he mentioned that you could just take the link out of the description, and then people wouldn't be able to donate anymore. So I'm wondering why you guys don't do that.
Well, like I said, we can do that. I don't know if we should do it right. Do you want me to do it right now? Okay. I can try to do that right now. But anyway, do you have something else to say, caller? Thank you for trying to help us, by the way.
Yeah, we got to stop the trolls, right?
Yeah, we have to.
Absolutely.
But we also recognize there are a lot of people that are well-meaning that want to donate. And I think that they're afraid
is that why
to.
you guys keep it on?
Yes, that is. But we would tonight do better to take it off.
I've been wanting to take it out for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, Brett, I wonder if maybe you could just ask Wilson to take it off or something.
Wilson's not talking to Brett right now.
We've already kind of covered why it's not going to work. Talking to Wilson in previous episodes. If you haven't seen those, please go back and watch them, because I don't want to cover it again, because
I'm sorry.
It's a really
I didn't
long
know
story.
that. I must have not seen those episodes. Sorry.
Okay, well, wonderful. Our donation link is out of our description now, and it's just hard because the donation link automatically shows up in our description on all of our videos, but for this one for tonight, it is gone now. So wonderful.
Well, great.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Great. Okay. Thank you for that, caller, and I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you have a good night too. Stop the troll.
I agree. Well, thank you. That was actually a very helpful call. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show, caller. How are you doing tonight? Do you have any questions for Carson and I about our faith or maybe life? Or just have a story to
Hi
tell?
there. After hearing the Happy Birthday song, I was wondering if we could sing the national anthem. I actually have it all ready to go. Listen here. So ready?
I'm starting to feel like we're misusing the national anthem. It's meant for ball games. It's meant for, you know.
Can you see a boy that does
What's so proud they will let the whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Listen, Brett. Listen, Brett.
Once so
This guy's just trying to make a mockery of our country. Hello, caller. You're on the air with.
we're singing it, no matter what his intention is. If we sing it and we have the intention of,
But it's supposed to.
patriotism,
It's.
what does it matter?
We're supposed to sing that like in appropriate times, like military marches or in front of baseball games, or, you know. But I just feel like in the middle of Mormon talk.
Become one of those American institutions.
Well, I think it is, but it's not like organized enough. Like it would have to be at the beginning of the show. I don't know. I just feel like if you overuse something beautiful, it loses its value.
Seems a little strange to do it. We should do it at the beginning.
Right. And I don't want it to lose its value by being overused. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go ahead and keep answering these calls. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson Owen Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight, caller? Do you have any questions for us about our faith or maybe?
How you doing tonight?
Pardon, caller. Do you have a question for us?
Hello, sweet pie. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good. Do you have a question for us? We are ready to answer any question you got.
Oh, well, I don't really have a question. I just love the show, sweetie pie.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. Coming from someone your age, we really like to reach out to the younger audience because
I bet Brett has a big dick.
Pardon?
I bet Brett has a big dick.
If you have any questions for us, we are ready to...
Caller, turn off your monitor, please. Caller, can you...
Hey, sorry about the television there.
Okay, well, wonderful.
How you guys doing? I just wanted to call in and ask you guys a couple of questions about the recent changes for the show.
No. We're not answering questions about that. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson.
And Brett, welcome to the show, caller. You're live on the air.
My temple name is Penis.
Stop this complete nonsense.
This is
Hello?
This is not appropriate for this. Dang it.
Absolute buggery.
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show.
Penis, 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 penis,
Stop
penis,
this.
penis, penis.
Okay, listen, guys. All right, calls are off. I'm calling it off. Calls are off for now. Okay, listen, guys.
There's like an 8-year-old child harassing us because of you guys.
Where do you
have
think
set
she learned
a
that?
Terrible example. You guys have taught him or her some terrible words, and is that a good thing? Is that something that you're happy about? That you've tainted this youth? How does a child like that get a phone? and not have their family around to stop them from disgracing themselves.
By doing what you guys are doing, you are discriminating against Brett and I. And discrimination is a problem. Stop donating.
The donation link is still there. The donation
No,
link
it's
is still
not.
there.
I saved it. It's gone.
No, it's gone.
It's gone. This person's lying. Refresh
just
your page.
refresh
Everyone,
the-
please refresh your pages.
Please delete the donation link by refreshing your page.
Yes, please. Okay. Listen, guys. Okay. Do you understand the damage you do? Okay. Discrimination, this country has a long history of it, and it has to end here and now. Brett and I are, as I've said in the past, the bouncers between trolls and racism, in between that and the good side of the world. Okay? We're not going to let trolls and
Sister Bunker, I saw you walking through the door of this old room. You smell like old.
Stop it. Brett and I are the bouncers between racism and discrimination, okay? Between those two things and the rest of the world, the good part of the world, okay? And we're not going to let you in on the show. We're not going to let you in on our lines. We're not going to let you into the club if you are going to sit here and be discriminatory against us or anybody. Do you understand what it would feel like to be? Why don't you ask Martin Luther King? It does not feel good to be discriminated against.
I really love Brother Nick's enthusiasm. Racism ends now. You heard it here from Brother Nick. We stand behind that. Racism is going to stop. So please stop racism.
And that includes discriminating against people, even if you are even if it's not race-based discrimination. It's all tied into the same thing, guys. So stop.
It is.
Fuck, he eat a fat dick. Fuck, Carson and Brett suck penis.
Guys, we're going to have to just go ahead and end the show.
Racism can still happen in
a wide range of variety.
It can still happen in the same race. That can still be racism. It all has to stop.
This is ridiculous, guys.
All of the racism.
Stop treating this show like a joke for you. Okay? We take time out of our week every single week to come on here and to try and answer people's questions, like the guy that called in earlier about a historical question. Okay?
That was a great question.
And a great answer.
Yeah.
Okay? And that person now gets to have an easier life because he had the courage to call in and ask a question.
He really opened himself up and made himself vulnerable by asking something that was sincere. You know, that was something really weighing on his mind. And because of our answer, you know, that's cleared up now.
Yeah, stop.
Carson has vibrating butt plug in right now. Brett spanks Carson after the show.
Stop, guys. I'm getting really upset now. Okay? And I haven't been upset in a long time. Not this upset. Stop making a mockery of this show. We do this every week so that people can have a platform to ask sincere questions. Okay? And you guys treat it like it's just a toilet bowl. Okay? Stop it.
There's a really good suggestion in the chat. We should wear shirts that say end racism.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe maybe that would help. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go on a break because that's all we can do, guys. So maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. I don't know. But please remember, if the trolling continues, we are most certainly not going to come back. So it stops here. I mean it. When we come back from our break, we would like to invite a discussion about criticism and what criticism looks like from a gospel perspective.
You fuck so happy Megan apology. Fuck you guys. Apologize to her.
I will never apologize to Happy Meg. So stupid. Dude, we didn't do anything to freaking Megan. Hold on. I kind of want to call her.
Do you think now's the time to call her? With so many
What is this
trolls
stuff?
in the chat?
This is so dumb.
Do you think it's... I don't think you should take her away from her job.
What is it with all these literal, simps, dude?
I don't know, but
Here,
she needs all of, her focus on the chat, or else it's not gonna get cleaned up. I don't think we should call her.
I'm calling her. Hey Megan, this is Carson, and Brett's here too. We're just wondering, so we had a call, I'm sure you know, we had a call. Someone was saying that there's that you might have a problem with us.
Sister Bunker, I think your face is lemonade.
Okay, anyway, people are calling in and saying that that you might be having a problem with Brett and I want to be able to clear that up. Hold on one sec.
Wanna hear a joke? Joke on the stick, bitch.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Megan, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, there have been a lot of really concerned viewers in the last week, and maybe I should just put out a statement or something that says that we've discussed the matter privately. I showed you examples of things in the chat that, I feel I successfully moderated that you both agreed with, you just didn't see.
Right.
At the time, and it's squashed.
Megan, I think that's a fantastic... I think it's a fantastic idea that you put together some sort of statement or video or something of that sort, and show it to everyone watching in some way. I know there's a lot of chat outside of our chat box. I don't know how it all works, but I think you know a little bit. But just don't send us the time you spend on the video, because it's not going to be compensated. But I think it is really important to put out there.
Copy that.
Excellent. I'm glad we agree. I'm glad we're all on the same page here.
Okay.
I thought we were earlier, so I'll put out a statement, and we can just move on to the next thing.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Megan, and keep at the good work.
Thank you. Let me know what else I can help with.
Okay, bye.
Great.
Well, seriously, that was so stupid. Gosh.
I feel like Megan is just bringing more trolls to the show. I feel like
Are you talking about the simps that I was talking about?
Well, because we have a female moderator, it makes our jobs harder, and there's more trolls, there's more simps, Is that a bad word? I saw someone in the chat say that's a bad word.
No, it just means a simpleton. But you were saying?
But I think we're on the receiving end of the discrimination that women typically face.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying earlier, and that blacks face.
Yeah. It's terribly unfair for anybody, and we shouldn't have to receive it just like everybody else. I think having a female moderator is making the show worse because of it.
I disagree. I think that we need to have that representation. And I think Happy Meg WV has been a fantastic moderator. But I think that the problems that you're talking about are legitimate. They're not her fault, though. The fact is that there are a lot of guys that are lonely, and they want to seem like they're worth a woman's attention, when in real life they're really not. So they get behind a keyboard and they pretend to stick up for women, and they invent things to make it seem like there's discrimination, so that they can, in front of everybody, in front of the limelight, be like, I'm here to defend Happy Meg, and pretend like they are some prince in shining armor, some knight in shining armor. And that is exactly the opposite of what women need. Women need to have a voice themselves, a platform themselves. They don't need to have a bunch of simps like that guy that called in. And wait, there's some other guy in the chat. Let me see. Justin Rogers. Yeah, complete simps. Like, that the guy is just very lonesome in real life. Probably looks at porn. Probably, heavily into gaming.
Yeah, he's full peg.
Yeah.
I would. I just thought of a funny way to say it. I would peg him for a pegger. Anyway,
is that your phone?
Yeah, that's my phone. It might be my wife, but I don't want to answer right now.
She's still ringing.
She'll typically call like 4 to 5 times in a row.
Okay, we have an email during the show. Someone's saying, "Hey guys, I can code in HTML and JavaScript. If you want,
Woman hating homos?
Okay, what the heck? Gosh, these people, dude. Look at the chat. Even Dave Hawkins says, totally, the hero is riding in to save the damsel in distress. So ridiculous. We have Megan on board because she is not someone who believes that she's a damsel in distress. She's someone who defends herself and who also understands, the rules very well and helps us execute them.
If you try to remove Happy Meg, I will have my lawyers go after you.
Is there some...
Did you hear that donation?
Wait.
Whoever sent that is a simp.
Wait.
It's just empty.
No.
It's empty threats.
Rest in peace, cousin Connor. Another young life lost to Peg and Carson's neglect.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Say sorry for what you said about Meg on break. I recorded it. My lawyers say hi.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you for being patient. Anyway, we're back, and we desire to have a topic to discuss. Just like we did last week, we think it helped a little bit to kind of guide people about what calls should be about. So, what we'd like to talk about tonight is criticism. Now, criticism is something that is widely used inappropriately in the world today. On Twitter, a platform that we are on. On this show, we have received inappropriate criticism many times.
YouTube.
But we have to wonder, is all criticism inappropriate, or is all of it appropriate, and or is there some sort of a line between proper and improper criticism? What is the Lord's way compared to the way of man? And so we would like to open up a discussion about that. So from now on, every single call has to do with criticism.
No
and
exceptions.
if it does not, we are going to politely hang up the call. And when we say criticism, we don't mean we want callers to call in and criticize us. That's not what we're saying. So anyway, well, wonderful. Let's go ahead and start. Well, hold on.
Fuck you, Brett. Not paying Meg to defend you. You're a piece of dog shit. Fuck off.
Okay,
there's a lot of harsh words that I could hear through my fingers. No F-bombs in the chat, in the donations, no inappropriate language whatsoever in the donations, in the chat or on the phone calls, please. Anywhere that has to do with our show, please no inappropriate language.
Yes, I concur. Well, anyway, hello, caller. You are on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show.
Which one of you takes it up the ass?
Turn it off. Wait, it's me that needs to. Stop! Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball
and Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show. You are live on the air.
Guys, I'm gonna give it one more. Stop it. Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball
and Brett O'Call. Welcome
Yeah,
to
here's
the
some criticism. You guys owe Meg an apology. Holy shit.
Okay, that is it. We don't allow simps to call into our show. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson
and Brett. Welcome to the show. You are live on the air. If you have any complaints, great. But please email them to mormontalkline@gmail.com, and we will happily go through any of your complaints or suggestions even. But for this hour, we are talking about criticism in regards to the LDS faith, church leaders. Those are really important things that we need to consider. So, hello, caller. You are live on the air. Please, no inappropriate words.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Hey, guys. The topic of criticism itself, there is a book by an LDS author called, the name of the book is called How to Hug a Porcupine. The Art of Giving and Receiving Criticism. I think his name's John Lund. Have you guys ever heard of that book before?
No, but it has a zany title that I love.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of a neat title. It's an easy way to remember it, but it's a great book. It's about just what I stated about giving and receiving criticism, how to live with somebody who criticizes a lot and how to deal with that.
What would be?
I highly recommend you guys to.
What would be a
check it
good
out
tip
and
that you
everything.
have that you've uncovered in that book? A nugget that you've found that you'd like to share?
A great tip that I discovered in that book is if you don't have any sort of say like a leadership role over somebody and you're just somebody's friend, it's always important that if you're going to give criticism to somebody that you get their permission first. And if you don't get their permission, then don't criticize.
Hey, that's great.
Great bit of advice right there, and amongst many other things that the book has to offer.
So how would one do that? So if you were going to give, well, please don't right now because now is not the time. But if you were going to say, let's role play here. If you were going to give me criticism, how would you approach that verbally, orally?
Just something, hey, Carson, I got something that's bothering me. Can I talk to you about it? It's something that you've been doing lately that's been bugging me. Can I make you aware of it? Can we chit chat about this?
Yeah.
It's really bothering me. It's been on my mind. Are you okay if it's something you may not like to hear, but I want to talk about it.
That's a great
that'd be like
I'm totally open to hearing it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
and
a great
for
approach.
thank you for respecting my feelings. And go ahead, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Okay, that's where we end the role play. Well, wonderful.
Because then you get to talk to somebody, and they don't have their guard up, right? They don't have their shield up, trying to protect themselves.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, okay, so this person's coming at me through respect, and that's fantastic.
Yes, exactly. And plus that too, when you get their permission, the individual's more likely to receive it and take the criticism in and actually listen to it as well. So
Right.
That's one of the whole key things from getting permission in the first place standpoint.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That is great advice. Thank you for calling in and sharing that with our audience.
Yeah, you guys bet. And once again, title of the book called How to Hug a Porcupine. Not trying to promote or anything, but just great life lessons. I've read it myself and I've used it throughout my life. So I highly recommend it to you two guys as well. Think you would like it as well.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, what a wonderful call. That's the calls that we are looking for. Thank you.
Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball. Welcome to Mormon Talk. We are discussing criticism right now. We're not inviting criticism about the show, or us personally, but let's talk about criticism. Caller, what do you got for us?
I have some criticism that I need help resolving just about the faith.
That would not be valid.
Oh,
we're discussing criticism as a concept right now. We're not discussing criticism of the
individual criticisms.
Okay. I'm sorry. So then I should just say the Mormon Church is a lie and a cult.
A lion. What?
No, he said
It's a lie and a cult. That's
Oh,
the criticism I have.
That's not. So that's not an example of criticism. That's an example of false criticism, which is not real. It's not valid. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball
and Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show. Do you have anything about
Carson has sex with minors. Carson has sex with minors. Carson has sex with
This is getting ridiculous, guys. Stop.
We should come up with a hand signal. So whenever we're going to answer a call, I'm running this way. Whenever we're going to answer a call, we're going to put up our hand like this, and everyone has to plug their ears. Everyone plugs their ears, and then once we determine that the call is not filth, I will give another hand signal like this.
That's ridiculous, but we have to go with ridiculous because of the way that things are. Hold on.
Meg, please step on me.
Okay.
And when you see my finger like this, it's okay to uncover your ears.
Okay, let's go with that. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball
and Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hi, how's it going?
Going good. Do you have something to say about the concept of criticism?
Yeah, I don't know. So I have a couple of questions for you guys. Why is it that you guys don't take criticism?
We do, but please email us at mormontalkline@gmail.com. Right now, there are families and people all around the world tuned in to hear us talk and discuss gospel topics.
You have absolutely no idea how much criticism we
So
take.
I get that, and just so I understand, you're not taking criticism about the church either?
No, we're discussing the topic of criticism. If you would like to discuss the topic of criticizing the church without raising criticisms of the church, we can talk about that.
All right. Well, it's your show, so I'll stick to the rules. So you guys are talking about criticism. I just kind of want to put like an analogy in your guys' heads.
Okay.
Criticism is a lot like a gift, right?
Like No.
being a
Now, that
porcupine.
gift could be something that you don't want. Have you ever
So
gotten
if
something
you
don't
call
want?
someone a pile of steaming trash, is that a gift? Wait. Don't try. No. Don't try and dodge that.
right?
Yes or
That's
no?
not criticism.
That
We're talking
that
about
can be a
criticism,
form of
right?
criticism, dude. Listen, if you call someone dumb,
Cut me off.
if you say, "Hey, listen, this caller's an idiot," okay? If you say, "Listen, this
I'm not
caller,"
making fun of you. I'm not
hold on,
making
I'm
fun
not
of
saying
you
you
guys
are.
aren't even listening to what I'm saying.
What you're saying is balonky. That's
I'm
criticism.
Not. You're not listening to me.
That's an example of criticism. Do you feel like I gave you a gift?
Okay, no. Okay, so listen to me fully, please. Okay, so what you were saying, like, yeah, if you call somebody a hot pile of trash,
Steaming.
that's like you're correct. That's not criticism. That's just calling somebody a rude word, right? That's just insulting them, right?
Well, you don't think that calling someone an incompetent fool is criticism? Like if I were to say you are an incompetent, dumb idiot.
That's rude, definitely.
Wait, hold on, but rude doesn't matter. So what we're talking, just because something's rude doesn't make it not criticism.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So, all right. So okay. Off that topic then. That's good. It depends on how you receive it, right? So if somebody says something mean to you or says something rude or whatever, you can be all offended. You can hang up and be like, and
We don't do that.
saying while you were not on the air. Like,
We don't do that.
It's just nobody can take you seriously.
We don't do so. So what you're doing is you're trying to criticize us.
Because you're not polite.
I'm not gonna hang up. I'm not gonna hang up on him. Hey, listen here, beanbag. Okay, we are inviting people to call in and discuss the concept of criticism, and you're Trojan horsing us with criticism toward us when we specifically said that this segment is not about criticizing Carson O'Kimball and Brett O'Call or Mormon Talk or our moderators. Okay, so what you said was all criticism. So criticism is like giving a gift. Belonging.
Yeah,
here's a gift for you. Here's a gift for you. You are a beanbag stuffed with walnuts. Merry Christmas. Hello, caller. You're on the Earth. Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call, welcome to the show. You are live on the air. Let's continue our... Actually, let's start our...
Hello?
Hello, caller. You're live on the air.
That was complete fucking trash. You guys were so...
Hello? Hello, caller. I'm going to keep my cool. Here, we've been trolled all night long.
Penis, 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 penis.
Where do you guys get off? Okay, we are not going to keep answering calls if they are breaking our rules. Rule 1, no filthy language. No talking about topics that are not appropriate for children. No talking about rough words. No talking about inappropriate things. No calling names. No cussing. How come you cannot get that through your heads? Do we have to put it in a caulking gun and squeeze it into your ear?
It's funny that anyone who tries to criticize us is incapable of saying a complete sentence using a swear word, without using, absolutely filthy language. It's like, guys, if you want to communicate to somebody, if you really have something that you are gonna break through the topic, and you're gonna change everything, and you're gonna just steamroll your whatever you need to criticize us with, it's like, okay, fine. Like, we don't want that, but fine. But then you can't even do it without communicating without a bad word. It's like, how dumb are you? That's absolutely balonky. I don't know.
Cut it out. Hello, caller. You're on the Earth, Carson.
Learn how to effectively communicate.
Hey, first of all, I'm sorry for all the calls that you guys have been getting tonight. I would like to talk about criticism if we're still talking about that.
Yes, we are. Go ahead, caller.
So, when I think of this topic, what I normally think of is Hebrews 12 with Paul.
Okay.
And if it's all right, I'm going to read that scripture, but
okay. Absolutely.
I want to give some background to it. So one of the things that I notice is God is love, right? Everyone's always saying how God loves everyone, but I think we miss the flip side to that sometimes correction is needed.
Yes.
And so what Paul says here in Hebrews 12, he says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth." And then he says, "If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?" And then he concludes with, "But if ye be without chastisement, then are ye bastards and not sons." And I really love that imagery. It's a bit of a harsh word today, but I think it's really pertinent to say that if we don't take God's chastisement,
right,
then he doesn't consider us his son.
I absolutely 100% agree. So there is a good side to criticism. Like, for instance, anytime the Lord ever chastens his children, it's because he loves them and he wants to give them a better way. And so what would be the difference, caller, then, between that and fault finding? That would be an inappropriate version of criticism.
Well, so I know Joseph, he was a bit critical, and when you read his writings, sometimes it can come off as a bit harsh. But when you look to D and C, you also see that we're commanded to afterwards have
Show
an
an increase
abundance
of love. Yeah, show an increase of love. Exactly.
So, to me, I think it's what your intentions are. Are you genuinely trying to help this person?
Right.
Or are you just trying to bring someone down or make yourself feel better?
Yeah. One way to know that is if the Spirit leaves you while you're criticizing, you're not doing it right. You should be able to, Joseph said, reprove sharply, but show an increase of love. And sometimes reproval needs to be sharp. But he's speaking from a leadership position when he's saying that. Like, for instance, I wouldn't just go up to my parents and say, listen here.
You guys are doing this all wrong.
Bean Bucket, you're doing it all wrong. And, there's a way that you approach
Might get a good
it.
spanking from that.
Right, I would have. And there's a way to approach it the right way. And so I think that sorry, I have something here that I would like to read. Brett, do you have any thoughts while I'm looking for this?
Well, to tie it back to the previous serious caller, who brought up, a great idea is to approach someone in a respectful, loving, and caring way, asking them, say, hey, I've got some grievances. I've got some problems. Can we talk about this? Can we maybe put things out on the table? And then you're coming at them maybe with love, and then you criticize harshly maybe if it's necessary, but then the increase of love afterwards. You can make it kind of like a love sandwich almost, right? With some harsh criticism in the middle, but some lovely, love buns around the. It's perfect.
Right, and some people think that, like, just because something is true, they get to use it, they get to say it,
It's a weapon.
and they can weaponize it. Like, our use of truth should be disciplined by our other values. For example, it's wrong to blackmail a person by threatening to reveal embarrassing facts unless money is paid, even if the facts are true. Okay? Doctors, lawyers, and other professionals are forbidden to reveal facts they've received in confidence, even though those facts are true. It is also wrong to make statements of fact out of an evil motive, even if the statements are true. And so, if you're saying something because you are angry at someone or hate them and you want to harm them, or you want to make them look bad, or you want to make them out to be this evil person or something like that, it's just not the right way to do it. In fact, George Q. Cannon, I wrote down a quote.
Real quick, let me say, you can't teach someone something by tearing them down. You can't teach a kid math by making them hate math, right? So if you take a kid and you say, hey, you're going to do this unbelievably and it's going to be so harsh, and they hate math now, good luck teaching them math tomorrow. You got to be appropriate.
Here's what George Q. Cannon said at a general conference one time. He said, tattle about one another, backbite, slander, and speak evil of one another. Are such things proper for Latter-day Saints? No. they should be banished from our society and from our households. Our children should be taught better. When they speak evil of anyone, they should be checked and told if they cannot say something good concerning their fellows, to say nothing at all. Well, wonderful. Thank you, caller, for raising important points. And we encourage these types of calls going forward.
I hope you guys have more success.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate everything you're doing. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'd like to read from Doctrine and Covenants about criticism. And it's different than the move on with sharpness and then the increased love afterwards, if that's okay.
Go ahead there, caller.
Okay. If anyone wants to follow along with me, it's Doctrine and Covenants, section 81.
Okay.
And this is Joseph Smith. I don't know if it's a revelation, but it's him talking. And it says, "And Brother Brigham did come to me, yea, he knelt down on his knees and began to suck my penis. And behold..."
That is not written in the Doctrine and Covenants. You have to stop
Kill
this.
all Mormons, kill all Mormons, kill all Mormons,
Stop.
kill all Mormons, nigger, nigger, nigger.
See? Okay, you guys see? See there?
We were
in the same breath,
receivers of racism.
in the same breath, saying N and saying kill all Mormons. From the same well of that person's soul, racism and hatred against members of the church are hand in hand. If you are against racism, if you're against phobia of gay, okay? If you're against discriminating on grounds of gender, then you are a complete hypocrite if you think it's okay to discriminate against members of the church. Us, period. So if you call in trying to pull a fast one on us or make fun of us because of our faith, you are just like a racist. Just so you know.
It's the same thing.
Okay, well, wonderful, everyone. I wrote down a couple quotes. Here's another one. This is from Joseph Smith, a real quote from Joseph Smith. Now, people are often, confused because it's like, okay, why can't I criticize leaders of the church or something like that? Like, aren't people who criticize leaders of the church, what if it seems like they're in the right place to do it? Shouldn't they be allowed to do it? And the answer is no. And I want to read this quote, and I know it might make some of our audience feel a little bit rough emotions. But truth does not... Truth is unscathed by your rejection of it. So, the prophet Joseph Smith warned, "It is an eternal principle that has existed with God from all eternity, that man who rises up to condemn others, finding fault with the church, saying that they are out of the way while he himself is righteous, then know assuredly that man is in the high road to apostasy, and if he does not repent, will apostatize as God lives." So
that's an important one.
It's important.
I think everyone needs to hear that a second time.
Okay, I'll read it again. The prophet Joseph Smith warned, "It is an eternal principle that has existed with God from all eternity, that man who rises up to condemn others, finding fault with the church, saying that they are out of the way while he himself is righteous, then know assuredly that man is in the high road to apostasy, and if he does not repent, will apostatize as God lives." Period. So, these commandments and this counsel against speaking evil of church leaders are not given to immunize or protect leaders. No. The leaders of the church are durable people. Sorry, I'm just reading from some of my notes. Local leaders earned their way in the world of unrestrained criticism, and general officers made their way successfully in that world. And they, before they received their callings, they have no personal need for protection. They seek no personal immunities from criticism, constructive or destructive. They seek only to fulfill what they understand to be the responsibilities of their callings to the Lord and His people. Just FYI, guys. And I know that, like I said, this will arouse a lot of you guys when I read that on the air. And that's not my purpose. My purpose is not to arouse the audience and get them to be mad. My purpose is to open a discussion, a constructive one, not a destructive one, about the concept of criticism. So I really hope that I really hope that you guys cool it down, okay? And I'm gonna do my best to do the same. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson
and Brett. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hi there. I was just wondering if I could share a quote about criticism.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it says, if you are criticizing others, you are weakening the church. If you are building others, you are building the kingdom of God.
Absolutely. That reminds me of a quote from Gordon B. Hinckley.
I actually have another quote from Gordon B. Hinckley.
Oh, well, wonderful. Let's hear it. Maybe it's the same one.
Okay, so it says here, Gordon B. Hinckley said, "Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Oh God, hear the words."
What? I thought he was trying to splash us a different way. Gosh. It's impossible to keep up with all of this. To all of this trolling.
I'm going to read the quote anyway. Okay. This is another quote that I gathered for this discussion. Gordon B. Hinckley said this, guys. He said, quote, "I am not asking that all criticism be silenced. Growth comes of correction. Strength comes of repentance. Wise is the man who can acknowledge mistakes pointed out by others and change his course. What I am suggesting is that each of us turn from the negativism that so permeates our society and look for the remarkable good among those with whom we associate, that we speak of one another's virtues more than we speak of one another's faults. Even hairy criticism, even bad criticism that is given in a spirit of hate, which a lot of that comes through our phone lines for some reason, can be salvaged. And if you can receive a flurry just of flatulent, inappropriate, fecal matter covered criticism and sift through it and find at least something that is constructive, that is a wise muscle to exercise. Does that give you permission to criticize people in an inappropriate way? Does that make it right? Does that sanctify it just because there can be good gleaned from it? No, that does not. When you criticize people, it should be done in a spirit of love and of kindness and gentleness. And that doesn't mean it can't be sharp sometimes, but only when appropriate. And you have to show an increase of love afterward. People who are filled with contention and rage against the church are, in essence, bigots. They're in league with racists, in fact. And that is why Brett and I get so can be so sharp in our reproval of such calls. I'm sorry for calling that one caller a beanbag. Okay? That is not a nice word to use, and I take full responsibility for tossing the beanbag to him. But regardless, we have to stand up for what's right. Yeah, maybe we'll just take one last call. We'll just end it early tonight, guys. We'll end it all early. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello, caller. You were
Hey
live on
Carson,
the
hey
air.
Brett, how's it going?
Well, wonderful. Welcome.
It's Trevor.
Yes. Great to hear from you, Trevor.
You're a little quiet there, Brett.
Great to hear from you, Trevor. What have you got for us tonight? You are our last caller, so let's please end on a note.
Is the topic still criticism?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess I feel like there's many types of, I guess, criticism out there in the world. There could be like good criticism, bad criticism, kind of like all throughout like the scale in a sense.
Yeah. There's different spectrum of criticism.
Of course, like
What's your point?
So a type of good criticism would be like, say, if like a loved one was like addicted to drugs or alcohol, by telling them like it's not good and like they should stop, that'd be good for them.
You're gonna hurt yourself with these.
But like saying like if someone doesn't have a lot of money and you criticize them for that, then that'd be like bad criticism in a sense.
Well, that's fault finding. But I mean, people can not have money and it still be good criticism because, what if it depends on how they
look at it, at their situation.
Maybe, but I think it's how they got to that point that really.
So they could have gave all their money away to charity, and then that's why they don't have much money.
Exactly, they could have done that, but they also could have spent it all on
hot rods and
hot dogs,
video games.
Yeah, exactly. They could have spent it all on immediate temporary pleasures that aren't gonna last longer than a minute, and then they have no money left.
Exactly, so just wasted away.
That's a worthy criticism.
I just feel like there's so many like just you could like experience throughout the day. Driving, going to like get something to eat.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Criticism, like ways you could be criticized like throughout your day in your life.
Yeah, I mean, you can have someone nitpick, but what's your point here, Trevor?
I guess you got to look at like the good things in a sense. Like of course there will be bad things in the day, but think of the better things.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to say that it's possible for criticism to be
good.
positive criticism. Like in this, like for instance, Brett, you know what? You are very skilled with a claw hammer. And I think that your the way that you control the claw hammer when you're nailing in nails is proper.
And this is coming from your perspective. I'm talking to Brett right now. This, just in case anyone's wondering. But Brett, your skills with the claw hammer are fantastic, but you could improve your framing skills or your caulking skills or something to that degree,
jackhammering skills.
Jackhammering skills to reach the level of your claw hammer skills. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, like, for instance, if I were a food critic, I could give positive criticism about that food.
Mhm.
Like, I could say, I just went to Chuck E. Cheese's. No, never mind. The place is gross. I could say I just went to Tucano's Brazilian Steakhouse. And
Chuck E. Cheese's so much. I'm so glad they closed it down.
I was always scared of Chucky when he came out in the costume. It always terrified me.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I could say I went to Tucano's Brazilian Steakhouse, and the picanha was quite expertly cooked and tender.
Exquisite.
And that is a criticism that is a positive criticism.
Mhm. Look for the good instead of the bad.
Yeah, instead of saying that there
Wasn't enough peas or the steak wasn't on there right.
Yeah, that he dangled the when I was at Tucano's, they have this like rod that has meat, and I could say he dangled it too close to my face. Like I get
I almost
slapped with
poked
the
my eye
steak.
out with a kebab once.
Oh really? Well, that actually didn't happen to.
I had to get CPR from it actually.
It actually didn't happen to me. It happened to my brother, not Wilson, but my other brother. The guy wobbled the hook around or the kebab, if you want to call it that, and accidentally hit him on the side of the head with I think it was
Was there a lawsuit?
No.
Well, there was free meat involved.
Wasn't that serious?
Yes, they did compensate.
Hopefully, he got a free meal at least.
Yes, his meal was paid for, but it did get sauce on his neck and his.
Hopefully,
ear.
not a
He was
good
wearing
shirt.
White shirt.
A white shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he got
It's
sauce on
for
his
sure
shirt.
probably stained.
Did it?
Was it barbecue sauce?
I don't even. No, it was something else.
It was just meat juice.
Yeah, it was just juice, grease. Because it was like this chicken that was wrapped in bacon. But anyway,
Oh, that should be greasy. We're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
Let's get back to criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we ended up kind of somewhere else, huh? I think we're all a little bit hungry.
There's also like religious criticism in a sense. Like you guys experience that every show.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely. It's moral. See, criticism can cross over a threshold. It's a fine line. It can cross over a threshold into discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we experience most Mondays, actually.
And it's horrible. You'd think people would actually have a heart.
Some people do.
Put themselves in other people's shoes.
That's hard to do.
Experience
for some of these people.
Experience the hate you're giving, and then you'll understand.
Right. There's a movie called The Hate You Give. I think everyone should watch it and remember Brett and I's faces as you watch it. All right. Well, anyway, thank you for an uplifting and on topic call, Trevor.
No problem. I have a quick question about the SingStar.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I sent it my email, but I guess I never got a response back for like a time slot, and I was just wondering if
we're waiting.
if I got a time slot.
We're waiting for more people to apply to the show before we assign those time slots. But we might even give an extension of a date that people need to apply by because they're not coming in as fast as I thought they would. But anyway, regardless, please do apply for SingStar if you want to share your voice with the
I'm
world.
super excited for it.
Yeah, we are too. Okay, well, thank you for your call, Trevor.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, Trevor, thank you.
Well, everyone, to wrap up tonight,
did we get anywhere with that conversation? I mean,
with
not with Trevor. Just since we came back from our break, did Did anything actually get said about criticism? I feel like, we got to read some quotes from a book, but I don't feel like we had any discussion about it. I'm sad. It was a sad night.
Things could have gone better, but they didn't. Anyway, everyone, we wish that we could have more calls that are serious and sincere. That is the criticism that we have for the general audience of this show. Please stop calling in if your only objective is to get a rouse out of us.
Hold on, really quick.
Or if you are...
Hello, who is this? Hello, who is this? Hello, who is this?
Hi.
Hello, who is this? Hello?
Hello, caller, who is this?
Hey.
Hello, caller, who are you?
Who is this? Hello, caller? Who is this?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, caller, who is this?
Caller, hello, who are you?
Hello, caller, who is this? We're looking for Dr. Shades. Dr. Shades has been trying to call all night. He has a very big announcement, and we're looking for him.
Kill all Mormons, nigger, nigger.
Hello, caller, is this Dr. Shades?
No.
Hello, caller, is this Dr. Shades? Stop that. We have to get through to Dr. Shades. Hold on, guys.
All night he's been saying, I have an announcement. I have an announcement. So we're patiently waiting. Is this Dr. Shades?
Hello, is this Dr. Shades?
Hello, is this...
Hold on, one moment. Stop! Stop nonsense. Hold on, we're gonna go on a quick break, everyone. Oh no. Gosh darn it. What did I do? Where did it go?
You erased it. Oh.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call, welcome
Oh.
to the show. You are live on the air.
Thanks so much. Guys, this is awesome. I can't believe I finally was able to get through. My name is Jason, but I go by Dr. Shades on the internet.
Yes, we are so glad that we were able to look through. We have like 20 calls at once, but we were able to see your ID and answer. But welcome to the show. We know that you're not going to try and pull a fast one on us. That's why we worked so hard to get you through.
Oh, thank you. And you are correct. I will not pull a fast one on you because, you say that we can talk about just other things if there are things on our mind that we'd like to speak about. So I'm going to try to take you up on that, okay?
Yes, you may. You are welcome to talk about anything you'd like to talk about.
Cool. Well, I have an announcement to make, and I'm really, really excited about this. What happened was, due to the increasing international popularity of perfume, they have been noticed and picked up by Netflix.
Oh, really?
So, Perfume, they have one of their concerts is available for our viewing pleasure up on Netflix right now.
Wow.
Is this a Japanese servers of Netflix, or is it available in the good old US of A?
Oh, no, it's available right here in the good old US of A.
Well, wonderful.
So,
We'll have to take a look.
Yeah, international. So if you get on Netflix and if you do a search for Perfume and then make a space and then type Reframe, Reframe is the name of the concert.
Okay.
So once again, search for Perfume.
Hey, we're learning.
Reframe. And you'll see the most wonderful, most beautiful hybridization of music, vocals, costumes, dance, and visual effects, all mixed together in one hybridized whole. And the sum is greater. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I watched that last night, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I think everyone else will too. If you're not a fan of Perfume now, then you will be when you watch that.
Well, great.
So that is my announcement. Perfume is now on Netflix.
We're so thankful that we finally got you through. Thank you for the announcement, Dr. Shades. We really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. So I thank you for allowing me to get through. Finally, it took a while.
Well, wonderful.
So, okay, everybody. All right, whoever's listening to this and everybody in the chat, once again, go to Netflix and then search for Perfume Reframe, and you'll get there. So I'm excited for everyone. I'm excited for you all. Thanks, guys, for letting me make this announcement. I appreciate you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for calling in. And to everyone, I just want you all to know that Dr. Shades is Mormon Talk royalty. He is, in fact, the Mormon Talk Fan of the Year for the year 2019. There's only one of those each year, and so
you're listening to one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm so proud. Well, I'm actually humbled in addition to being proud. So
Wonderful.
Yes, to have that honor.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Well, great. Wonderful. Thank you for calling in, and you have a wonderful night, Dr. Shades.
Also
I will. You too. Bye-bye.
Also known as Jason. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you to everyone who was serious that called in. Go away to everyone else who called in with breaking one of our rules or just trying to pull a fast one on us. Go away and
buzz off.
Don't come back. Zip on down the line, guys, and get lost. Go take a hike, okay? Go to the road and stick your thumb out and say, hey, take me literally anywhere but Mormon Talk right now. And
you'll be doing everybody a favor.
You will. You don't belong calling into the show. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in. Please, if you have not already, and if you support family-friendly content and you are a person with good intentions, press the subscribe button. If you are a troll or if you're trying to just mess with us, if you are subscribed, unsubscribe right now.
Discrimination and racism end
now and forever. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you for calling in. If you were not a complete steaming piece of trash, and we'll be back next week. So,
There's a place I've come to know where the righteous always flow. It's a beacon for my soul. It is called Mormon Talk. Carson, show me hope. That happiness is mine. Jesus takes my load through the rough and tumble time, and I will raise all the curtains up, unlatch the window to His love. I will bow my head to Thee, fast and pray, get on my knees and say, I will pray. There's a book that draws me near to His everlasting light, and the truth is witness clear, and I know what's wrong from right. Riker shows me hope, that eternal life is mine. Jesus takes my load through the rough and tumble time, and I will raise all the curtains up, unlatch the window to His love. I will bow my head to Thee, fast and pray, get on my knees and say, I will pray. And I hear the voice of Carson Kimball say, hold on to the rod. And I hear the song in every interlude, hold on to the rod. 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 And I will raise all the curtains up, unlatch the window to His love. I will bow my head to Thee, fast and pray, get on my knees and say, I will pray.
So I think that
I think we've got a lot in store that everyone is going to be excited for, and I think our new troll busting system is going to really cut down just the terrible callers and stuff. It's gonna be a whole new show.
I don't have faith personally, but
No, I think we've worked out something that is going to.
hold on. Our song's over.